So in this video, you are going to learn how to embrace your spiritual elevation and your spiritual liberation and transcend beyond religious narratives and societal expectations. Okay, so let's dive right in. I have mentioned this before in other videos, but it's very important to understand this. That strong Black woman label, it erodes your spirit. It hardens you. It creates this internal imbalance to make you feel the weight of expectations, to make you feel that carrying weights is a part of your existence. You struggle to prioritize yourself because of fear of what others will say about you. These are invisible chains that you adopted from religion, okay? And I'm going to share with you ways to shed those shackles, okay, those chains, so that you can embrace your spiritual liberation, all right? So when we talk about spiritual reclamation, we have to talk about how the strong Black woman reinforces self-sacrifice. And I'm bringing the topic of self-sacrifice up again because based on some of the comments I received, those comments prove how much self-sacrifice is rooted in religious dogma, all right? Even for people who don't claim to be religious, they still believe in self-sacrifice, all right? So, anyway, self-sacrifice is performative, all right? You become conditioned to neglect yourself for external validation, okay? So, external validation places you in the position to carry weight. Not just your weight, but other people's. Self-sacrifice leads to a mask. You mask your internal struggles with what? With more work, with more things to do. And because you mask your internal struggles, you don't realize that that internal struggle is due to that religious trauma of self-sacrifice that you have experienced. And yes, I am referring to religion, to religious dogma as trauma. I'm referring to religious constructs as traumatic experiences. Why? Well, first you have to understand what the word trauma is. What is trauma? Trauma is, I'm going to read to you this definition. It's emotional and psychological response to a distressing event that has lasting negative effects on a person's well-being. I'm going to read it again. What is trauma? It is an emotional and psychological response to a distressing event that has lasting negative effects on a person's well-being. I've talked so many times, and I'm going to say it over and over again, about the foundation of religion. The construct of religion itself. The construct of this dominating, patriarchal, controlling, usurping construct was created initially to usurp and wipe out the authority of the Black woman. And because of that, it disrupted cosmic order. And I won't get into the details of that in this episode. Let's move on. So how do we dismantle those shackles? Because if we haven't done that, if we've just left religion, those constructs, those shackles are still playing out in your life. Because now that you've left religion, now they become blind spots and you don't know that they're playing out in your life. Which leads me to also tell you, if you haven't done this already, go to unleashedalchemy.com. You will be, when you sign up to be a part of Unleashed Alchemy Weekly, you'll also receive a complimentary guide where I give you tips on how to recognize blind spots of religious dogma playing out in your life so that you can be free, so that you can really unleash your alchemy. All right? Because what's the point of leaving religion if that construct is still negatively affecting your life? Right? All right. So let's get back into the episode. So how do you dismantle those shackles? Well, first of all, I talked about how the strong Black woman, that label, how it hardens you, it erodes your spirit. It is not strength. All right. It's performative because its foundation is in self-sacrifice. So the first thing you have to do is know the difference between genuine strength and performative strength. So what's the difference? Genuine strength, it's accompanied with ease. Genuine strength has an emotional, intelligent factor to it. Being emotionally intelligent is really being present with your body and being present in your emotions to know what emotion is the theme of the moment, in your moment, not anyone else's, but in your moment. What is the theme that's outplaying? What are you feeling in this moment? Are you feeling joy, nervousness, agitation, impatience? It's knowing that and being aware of it. That's where your alchemy begins. Performative strength is accompanied with obligation. Performative strength is accompanied with struggle and force. So a perfect example of this, when you hear a woman say, "Oh, I'm just trying to be strong, I have to be strong," that is performative strength. That's what I'm talking about. Who said you have to be strong? Who are you? I have to be strong for fill in the blank. That is performative strength. Because you're disregarding how you're feeling in the moment. The second thing that you can do, so let's review. So you dismantle the shackles by knowing the difference between genuine strength and performative strength. Then the second thing is challenge what you've been told about your womanhood as a Black woman. What ideas, what constructs have you even created about what you've been told? What do you believe about yourself in your womanhood as a Black woman? What do you believe about yourself? Is it coming from your own inner wisdom, or is it coming from what you've been told from the outside? The third thing, challenge what you've been told about spirituality, about your spirituality. Challenge that. Now you may be asking, well, how? How do I challenge it? How do I challenge those things? How do I challenge what I've been told about my womanhood? How do I challenge what I've been told about myself as a Black woman? How do I challenge what I've been told about my spirituality or spirituality in general? Questions to ask is, first of all, what serves your soul? What do you have an affinity toward? What serves your spirit? What serves your spirit? Another question that you're going to ask is, how can you define spiritual liberation on your own terms? What does spiritual liberation look like to you? How would you feel in your spiritual liberation in the way that you define it? And the next question you're going to ask, the third question is, how can you embody that right now? And I didn't have this written down, but another question is, how are you open to allow that definition of spiritual liberation to expand? But your definition of spiritual liberation right now, how can you embody that right now in this moment? Perhaps spiritual liberation in this moment, perhaps lighting a candle to symbolize your spiritual liberation in this moment. Perhaps that's what it looks like. Perhaps lighting a candle to celebrate that you have spiritual liberation, even if you don't have a clear picture of what that looked like, to celebrate that. Maybe that's how you embody spiritual liberation right now. You see how simple this is? You see how simple this can be? So, let me know what your takeaways are from this. Let me know how you implemented those questions into your daily life. Again, go to unleashedalchemy.com. I have a course that is available to you right now. The course comes with a workbook as well. There's also, when you sign up for the Unleashed Alchemy Weekly, you can get access to a complimentary guide that shows you how to recognize religious blind spots in your life so that you can experience spiritual liberation. I also have my calendar opened up for one-on-one sessions. These sessions are 90 minutes long and they are video sessions. So check out those resources. I am here as a guide for you. What I offer, what I'm giving you is a launching pad. It's what I wish I would have had when I was trying to navigate my life after religion. There was nothing out here. I was figuring it out by myself. That's why it took me so long, okay, to be liberated. And let me just say this. Liberation is not just a defined place. It's not, okay, I'm liberated and then that's it. No, there's elevation. So I'm also elevating with you, all right? Look at Unleashed Alchemy as a launching pad for you to soar into your spiritual technology, into your spiritual elevation. And you're going to see elevation in your spiritual life. Because when you begin elevating on the internal, your expression changes. And because of the power of your energy, your outer, the physical conforms to your energy, conforms to your essence. That's how powerful you are as a Black woman, as a woman of the diaspora, as the original woman. All right, leave me your comments. Let me know what your takeaways are. Share this video. If you're new here, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop new episodes 2 or 3 times a week. All right, until next time, be sovereign.